Hey guys, welcome to my channel Miss Recap. A high school student, Shoya Ishida, plans to commit suicide. He has prepared anything, including cleaning his stuff, resigning from his part-time job, closing his bank account, and leaving a bunch of money for his mom. However, Ishida then changes his intention as if some other things should be solved. A flashback reveals Ishida's elementary school life when a new female student is introduced in front of the class. Her name is Shoko Nishimiya. During her first day at school, Nishimiya tells her classmates that she is deaf. To communicate with her, students in that class should write in her communication book. Nishimiya will read it and then reply to their message, also in written form. She sits right in front of Ueno and Ishida. At first, knowing that her disability limits her interaction in the class, Ueno sometimes guides her during the class. She helps Nishimiya to understand teacher's instructions by leaving some notes in Nishimiya's book. However, as time goes by, Nishimiya's disability starts to affect the class atmosphere. For example, because she can't hear, she often ruins their class choir performance. Although Nishimiya and her classmates try hard to get along, it's obvious that there is an invisible distance between them. Ishida also can't stop himself from mocking Nishimiya, especially when Nishimiya makes unclear articulation when she reads. He also starts to treat her harshly, once throwing the sand in their school field directly at Nishimiya. It is also revealed that their teachers start to motivate Nishimiya's classmates to learn sign language to communicate with her. This makes Ueno jealous because she thinks that their teachers start to treat her more special. After that, Ishida and his friends start to bully Nishimiya. They frequently snatch her hearing aid, leave some harsh notes in her book, and flush water to her. The only student who is kind to Nishimiya is Sahara, but she also transfers to another school. One day, when Ishida snatches Nishimiya's hearing aid, he accidentally scratches her, causing her to bleed. Somehow, it's Nishimiya who apologizes to Ishida. Then she asks him to become her friend. Ishida rejects her, throwing her book into the pool in their school field. Hereafter, Nishimiya is absent from school, and the principal says that Nishimiya has lost 8 hearing aids in the recent 5 months. Her mom contacts the school because she is worried that Nishimiya might get bullied at school. Students in the class throw the blame on Ishida, treating him like he is the only one who bullies Nishimiya. No matter how hard Ishida defends himself, he has become the sole culprit in Nishimiya's bullying case. Ishida's mom then goes to meet Nishimiya's mom to apologize and give compensation for the hearing aids loss. After that day, Ishida becomes isolated and is ostracized by his friends. He also becomes the bully target. Ishida blames Nishimiya for his current situation. Both of them even get into a physical altercation, blaming each other and even themselves for everything that happened. Later, Nishimiya transfers to a different school, and Ishida keeps the notebook Nishimiya had left behind. Even until the end, Ishida never apologizes to Nishimiya for what he had done to her. The current Ishida, after deciding not to commit suicide, finally finds the courage to meet Nishimiya. He goes to the sign language center to return Nishimiya's notebook. Nishimiya recognizes him and tries to avoid him, but after she finds out Ishida comes with no bad intention, she gives him a chance to talk. It is revealed that after all these years, Ishida successfully learned sign language and now can communicate with Nishimiya. He comes to ask for forgiveness, but because he is too panicked, he ends up asking Nishimiya to be his friend, just like what she did when they were still in elementary school. The next day, Ishida is confronted by his mom and is asked to promise not to ever commit suicide again. He promises his mom that he will never do that again and goes to school. Being shunned throughout middle school due to his reputation as a bully, Ishida is now a depressed loner in high school who cannot look people in the eyes and sees an X mark on their faces. He also is always suspicious that other students talk behind his back, even though the truth is he never really pays attention to what they are saying. One day, Ishida saves one of his classmates, another loner student named Nagatsuka. Their school bully wants to borrow Nagatsuka's bike. Ishida then stands up to cover him and lend his bike to the bully. He knows that his bike will never be returned. Ishida, fully realizing that he hasn't appropriately apologized to Nishimiya, somehow tries to find reasons to meet her. He even picks up a bread discount voucher on his way back home, so that he can buy bread for Nishimiya. Ishida then goes to the sign language to give the bread for fish feeding, but fails to meet Nishimiya. He is cast off by a young boy named Yuzuru who introduces himself as Nishimiya's boyfriend. Surprisingly, when Ishida gets back home, he sees Nagatsuka come to return his bike which was borrowed by the bully. The X mark on Nagatsuka's face drops, and the two become friends after that incident. The next day, when Ishida tries to meet Nishimiya again in that sign language center, Yuzuru tries to cast him off again. Fortunately, with Nagatsuka's help, Ishida can meet Nishimiya that day. Two of them talk a bit on the bridge near the sign language center. Both Ishida and Nishimiya are spied on by Yuzuru through his camera. During their talk, Ishida accidentally drops the notebook into the river. He jumps to help Nishimiya retrieve the book. It is prohibited to jump into the river. It turns out that Yuzuru takes his picture and posts it on Twitter, causing Ishida to get suspended from his school. The day Ishida gets suspended, when he is asked to fetch his niece at school, Ishida meets Yuzuru again. Yuzuru tells him that he is the one who takes his picture and posts it online. The kind Ishida isn't angry, he even pities him, because he looks like someone who runs from home without any preparation. Yuzuru then goes home with him and has dinner in Ishida's house together with his family. He realizes that Ishida isn't as bad as he thought. Ishida lets Yuzuru stay in his house, but Yuzuru runs away in the middle of the night. Ishida, who worries about Yuzuru, looks for him everywhere and finally walks him home. Before leaving, Yuzuru tells Ishida that she is Nishimiya's younger sister. Ishida also meets Nishimiya's mom, who comes out only to slap him. Their mom later tells them not to get closer to Ishida because he is a bully. However, as time goes by, Yuzuru, Nagatsuka, and Ishida somehow become close friends. Ishida even helps Nishimiya to reunite with Sahara. At that place, Ishida also accidentally meets Ueno. Unfortunately, both Ishida and Ueno are too awkward and pretend not to know each other during their first meeting. Hereafter, Ishida and Nagatsuka go to the cat cafe where Ueno works. Once again, he fails to meet Ueno and they go back empty-handed. It's not long after that until Ueno dares to make her first moves, by greeting Ishida and hopping onto his bike when they want to cross the road. Ueno sees Nishimiya on the other side of the road and starts to bully her again. This time, Ishida stands on the Nishimiya side. Realizing that her childhood friend has changed, Ueno leaves, saying Ishida is now pathetic. The next day, when Ishida meets Nishimiya on the bridge, she gives him a gift and confesses her feelings for him. Nishimiya chooses to speak about her affections rather than signing them out. Unfortunately, because of her unclear articulation, Ishida mishears her and gets confused. The shy Nishimiya then keeps avoiding Ishida after that, while the latter has no idea what's going on. At school, Ishida starts to get a grip on his life and even amend his friendship with Kawi. He also gains a new friend named Mashiba. To clear his confusion about his relationship with Nishimiya, Ishida invites her to an amusement park together with his friends. They spend the day happily. Ueno later deliberately takes Ishida to the takoyaki stand to meet another old friend, Shimada. Shimada is one of Ishida's best friends in the elementary school who turned his back on him after the bullying case. Ishida isn't ready to meet Shimada. He and Ueno then argue. Ueno starts to blame Nishimiya for causing their friendship to tear apart. Ueno then drags Nishimiya to ride the Ferris wheel with her. Ueno expresses her anger for Nishimiya, and accuses her of causing a wedge between her and Ishida. Yuzuru, who had been secretly recording the encounter, shows this video to Ishida. Desperate to remain blameless for her part in bullying Nishimiya following the leak of that old case, Kawi later exposes Ishida's past to the Mashiba, who was oblivious to it. Later, she attempts to apologize to the group, but Ishida blows everyone off. Their fragile friendship is tearing apart again. However, Ishida remains close with Yuzuru. Right before summer break, Nishimiya's grandma dies peacefully. Ishida takes Nishimiya to the countryside. She tells him to leave her because Ishida won't be happy. Ishida refuses, asking Nishimiya not to blame herself. Later, to cheer those sisters up, Ishida spends his summer break with both Yuzuru and Nishimiya. They also celebrate Nishimiya's mom's birthday together. It feels like her mom also has forgiven him. During a fireworks festival, Nishimiya goes home under the guise of finishing homework. Ishida follows when Yuzuru asks him to get her camera. As he arrives, he finds Nishimiya standing and preparing to fall from the balcony. Ishida succeeds in grabbing her and pulls her back up, but he falls into the river below. It is later revealed that Nishimiya hates herself and often blames herself for anything that has happened. That's why she wants to commit suicide. Ishida is in a coma after that accident and hospitalized. Nishimiya's family feels deeply guilty, asking for Ishida's mom's forgiveness a couple of times. During his coma, Nishimiya wants to help Ishida to repair all the things that had been broken. She meets their friends and explains Ishida's situation to them. Nishimiya even tries hard to get Ueno's attention. One night, Nishimiya dreams about receiving a farewell visit from Ishida. Horrified, she runs to the bridge and collapses in tears. Ishida, awakening from his coma because of the same nightmare, stumbles to the bridge and finds her there. He apologizes for how he treated her, asking her to stop blaming herself. Ishida then asks her to help him continue to live, to which she agrees. When Ishida returns to school, he is reunited with his friends and comes to understand how much they still care for him. Ishida then attends his school festival with his friends. He manages to look people in the eye again, and suddenly, the X marks begin to drop one by one. Looking around at his family and friends he has made, Ishida breaks down in tears, knowing that he has at last atoned for his mistakes. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notification so you can watch more videos like this.